Good morning everyone. So in this one I'll be talking about the Traxxas, the Trx4, the crawler and the clicking that everyone seems to be having coming from the diff. Hopefully I'll be resolving that one today, and I'll talk you through what I've found and my opinions on it. I just want to address one thing though very quickly, and that's if the mods don't seem to work for you, then please check your orders and check the links, because when I'm putting the links on the to date, right, I've just found out that the links to the ball drains have been changed. Blacksmith Products hasn't changed these listings, and it's causing me nothing but pain in the backside. So that's the understanding of the links. If there's a problem with a part and it arrives, please come on and tell us that it's not the same part or something like that, and I will try and rectify that. But if you're coming on and saying my mod doesn't work, it's crap, it's a waste of money, then what do you expect? Of course I'll get defensive, right? At least I'm taking the time out of my life to answer your questions when you have them. I could be like other YouTubers, put stuff out there and just blank the comment section. Even though I've got the comment section open, try and give us a little bit of slack. Come on, maybe tell us that something has changed, and I'll try and work with it. But anyways, in this one guys, I'm sick of rambling now. This has done my head in. So I'm going to go for the Trx4 and we'll see what the crack is with this one. Right, so if you've stuck with us this long, you'll be wanting to know where the clickings come from, and obviously this is just my opinion, as so many people think that I get things wrong. But anyways, I'll go shaft by shaft. Forgive us if I forget the names or whatever, but this is the spur gear shaft. If I get this into shot, you can just notice here. So there's that tiny little bit of plate, and just see as the line appears and disappears. So there's that little bit of play there, and that shaft obviously comes through to this hole here. And as you can see there, the play is there as well. Now we'll just move straight onto the shaft because it's inside. If you get with your fingers and touch this one, that is way too stiff. Now that's got a washer behind it from Traxxas, but I think that's too stiff. Now when we come down here, so obviously this case here, this block here has got a gear that runs all the way through it, and it's this one here. So this one in particular, if you get your hex, put it in the hole, and depending on which way yours is, I can pull mine down and it'll go really, really stiff, and if you look at this line, it'll disappear. So did you see that? And listen, that click there, and then it goes a lot looser. So my reckoning is, when we're going, whoever's got Trx4s, when we're going from forward to reverse, this is shifting, or as it's rotating, that's the noise that you're hearing. And then obviously the slipper, it's got a tiny little bit of play in it itself. So next day for me, I'm just going to show you roughly what I've done. I've got the car or the gearbox in neutral, and you should just be able to move that nice and freely in neutral. So all I'll do is I'll engage high or low gear, same again, nice and smooth. And if I go all the way through, same again, nice and smooth, but you can obviously feel the pickup. Now last night I was showing you in here, or just before, I was showing you in here that this had a lot of play and it was clicking. So that clicking is completely gone now. I've shimmed the spur gear, if that'll come into focus. So I've shimmed the spur gear, and it has got a tiny little bit of play. It's got probably that 0.1 mil shift, and that's the way I've left the entire gearbox. So what I'll do is I'll pop the case off, and obviously because I need to re-grease everything, I'll show you where I've put the shims and what shims are in there. So as you can see here, I've got the stock bearing from Traxxas, that's 0.5. Underneath is the 0.5, plus I've added two 0.1 shims, and on here also I've added two 0.1 shims, and that's to stop that gear from riding on that plastic housing, because that was giving us some trouble as well. So that's all the shimming from the front end done. I'll take the back case off now and I'll show you. So just while I do this, for anyone taking the gearbox apart, if you want to hold your gear shifter with your finger and push that through the hole first, then push the gear down. If you don't do that, all your gears will just come flying out and then you'll never know where you're at. So on this gear here, there should be a shim, but obviously it's just stuck up inside there, but that's the 0.51 by Traxxas, so that still remains the same. Just pull all this out and then I'll show you what I've done. That's the other 0.5mm shim that comes on the rear of this. So this has got the two 0.5mm shims on, and this one here wouldn't have any shims on whatsoever. So I'll set this gear back up and I'll grease everything while I'm rebuilding it. So I'm just going to grease my gears up as I'm putting them in. So there's no trickery. Them's the shims still on. The same goes for this gear here. Just get it all set up. And then what you want to do is make sure that you're putting the shims back on that came with the car. So as you can see, that's a 0.5 there. I'll add this one here. And then what I'm going to do is, because I've put 0.2 down in there, I'm actually going to put 0.2 on this as well. So that'll keep the gears in line, and I'll show you that as well. So the gears are all greased up, and as you can see there, that's the 0.5 that came with the Traxxas, and I've put two 0.1mm shims in there. To anyone who's building one of these, keep that dog bone shifter pinched with your fingers when you're putting these in, because it will just slide away from you. And that's in there. So now, I know there's a lot of grease on there, but if you can make that out, the gears are not sitting, one is not prouder than the other, yeah? And I've just got the stock shim on the top, so that's two 2.1s in either side, although this side isn't meant to have any whatsoever. So that's case all back together. Obviously I've got to put these gears in and I'll show you what to do on this. But what I do is, since I've shimmed the inside, I'll turn it, and as you can see the gear shifter's out. So I'll turn it and it's nice and smooth. Then I'll put it into neutral. Also check, nice and smooth, and then all the way through, and it just continues all the way through. That smoothness is all the way through now. So that's two 1.1 shims there. Let's try and keep all this in focus. Straight on, and as you can see, it actually sits over the plastic housing, so it's not going to slip down inside of there and potentially knock that bearing out. And as you can see, the pin just slides straight across. There shouldn't be any friction with that pin. Everything should still run nice and free when you've added that. Like I say, that's just to stop that gear from riding on the plastic housing. Nope. Now, with all this shimming, you're probably expecting the gears to have kicked out and all that, but I've managed to keep them all in line there, if you can make that out. Yeah, so they're all in line. Now, one problem I am noticing that a lot of people seem to be doing, they're putting this gear case on too tight. It's going to bind these back, all these up here, and this is without any shims in it as well, by the way. So if you've got a Traxxas Trx4 and there seems to be a little bit of grittiness or stiffness anywhere, just come to your back case and just take these little screws out, just a tiny touch, like a quarter of a turn, if that, not even quarter in fact, and I'll show you. So you've just seen it was running nice and smooth, all free running and that. So I'll just get this last one in. So Come on, hurry up. I just do everything by hand when it comes to these, because literally you'll just strip the plastic. Right, now that there, since I put this case on, that there is when quite stiff again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack this one off. Tiny piece, tiny bit, sorry. Same with that one. And that seems to have freed everything back up again. So I'll go through the gear motions one more time, just to make sure. I'll grab it by the spur end, sorry. Yep. Seems nice. Go into neutral. Nice and free spinning. And then high end. Nightmare trying to manipulate this with my hand, but that's it in there. And yet again, pardon me. So I've checked all my gears, as you can see there, nice high end. If I turn it around, nice and free spinning, go down into neutral, free spinning, go into high gear, still free spinning, but obviously with a little bit more tension, as you'd expect, because you've just picked up the gears. So what I'll do is I'll put this in the car, get everything set back up. So that's all put back together, minus the motor. I haven't connected the motor obviously, because I just want to show you guys. So I've got drive links all set up. Now when I heard some cars moving just backwards and forwards, you could hear the clicking straight away. So I'll do that now for you. As you can hear, nice and quiet. The only movement, or the only little bit slapping, is the spur going around. So as you can hear, that's the car moving. No horrendous click, but as soon as I add my motor, you'll hear what happens. So that's a motor in, and just by moving it by hand, you can hear all that clicking, and then when I add power to it, so as you can see, it sounds like a diesel engine. So guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's my rendition of where the clicking's coming from. The clicking's definitely coming from the gearbox. But, you know, as you've just seen there, I'll get no clicking, and then as soon as I add my motor, mine starts clicking and it sounds like a diesel engine. But anyways, I hope some of that's made sense to you. My gearbox was clicking until I'd done the whole shimming thing. Now it's absolutely spot on. But yeah, if you just want to stay tuned anyways, I've got some of these coming next, which is hair donuts. We're going to try some of those in the tyres. I've also got some new tyres coming for it anyways. But by the looks of it, I think I'll be going for a new setup. But yeah, anyways, thanks a lot guys. Thanks for sticking around. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.